Welcome to Get Set Up. Today we're making a great recipe, one of my favorites. It's pineapple cauliflower fried rice. Now don't let that fried scare you. We are going to fry, technically, our food in vegetable broth. That's what you can use instead of oil, and that's what you were going to use for this recipe. Now the recipe can be found at bluezones.com under recipes, under plant-based recipes, or we'll have it for you at GetSetUp.com. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to add a little bit of vegetable broth. You don't need much because remember the onions give off a lot of water, so that'll be fine. You don't need much vegetable broth. Notice how it's heating up. Then we're going to add some onions. Now the recipe calls for 1.5 cups of chopped red onion. That might be too much for you. And if that's the case, you don't have to use it all. So we'll add some onion. And I don't like a lot of red onion, but you might like the whole amount. And it depends on how big the onion is. So then we'll saute that. Oh, can you smell it? Woo! My eyes don't water. Hope my mascara doesn't smear as I'm making that. We saute the onion first, and then afterwards, then we put in the garlic after it's cooked a little bit. And then we're going to put in the garlic because we don't want the garlic to burn. Wouldn't you hate to be on MasterChef and have Gordon Ramsay yell at you, "You can't give me burned garlic, what are you trying to do?" It's like, okay, Gordon, I'm sorry, I won't do that. All right, oh, that smells good. The production crew, I can see their mouth already watering. Now you might need to add a little bit more broth, that's fine. We'll add a little bit more broth because we don't want it to burn. We're just making it nice and translucent. Great, so we have that. And I don't think a dish ever has too much garlic, okay? I think that there's never enough garlic. So not too much on the onions, but obviously add some more garlic. The next thing we want to add is the carrots. We want to add the carrots because obviously they take a little bit longer to cook. And I like a lot of vegetables, so I probably put a little bit more carrots in there than the recipe called for. Oh, doesn't that smell great? Got the look how beautiful that looks. And we're just going to cook the carrots for about 3 minutes, and then they'll be nice and sauteed. You can cook them to the desired consistency. Some people like their carrots a little bit crunchier than others. Me, I don't like them super soggy, so I just like them a little bit crunchy. So we've got that. And then it doesn't take too long for the mushrooms to cook, so let's add the mushrooms. Now I just chopped up some baby bella mushrooms, so I chopped those up. We added those. All right, we're just gonna cook that a little bit, saute that. And then we're going to add the frozen peas. I like a lot of peas. Every night, just about for dinner, here's my dinner. Rice and potatoes, some peas, I add some peas to it, cook it up in the Instant Pot for like 0 minutes, and then I add some mustard. I know, okay, yes, I love that. I think it's delicious. So the peas will cook, and obviously there'll be water in the peas, so nothing's sticking. Now for this recipe, it calls for cauliflower rice. If you don't have cauliflower rice or you don't want to make your own cauliflower rice from your cauliflower, that's fine. You can just use organic white rice. White rice is fine. I'm going to use cauliflower rice because that's what the recipe called for. I didn't make my own. This is just easier. It's easier to cook with, but again, you can make your own cauliflower rice in the food processor. I think this is easier, but whatever works best for you. All right, I'm just going to cook this up, and then we'll be all set. Oh, so take a look how well this has been sauteed. Oh, and the smell is delicious. I bet you can't wait to eat it. So to cool it down a little bit before I put it in the pineapple, I'm going to just stir in some tamari. Again, use it however you feel it's best for your taste. This is really going to make it Hawaiian. Now, one thing I use, this is tamari. You can also use coconut aminos. What I like to use is a no soy soy sauce. Yes, they actually make that, a no soy soy sauce. So you can see this dish is delicious, and we didn't have to use any oil, no butter, no eggs. It's straight from the Blue Zones. If you're not familiar with the Blue Zones, let me just recap. Dan Buettner and a team of his research people, they searched the world over to figure out where do the 5 longest living people live on the planet. And so they picked 5 different places, not just living long people, but living healthy, living vibrant. And one of the things they all had in common was a plant-based diet, which doesn't mean they just strictly ate plants, but 99%, maybe 90 to 99% of their food was plant-based. Now there's only one place in the United States that qualified as a blue zone, and that was San Diego, actually Loma Linda in the San Diego area. Now if you know anything about Loma Linda, the reason it was chosen as a blue zone is because primarily 99% of the people there are strict vegetarians. They belong to a religion called the Seventh-day Adventists. They do not eat meat. They're primarily all vegan or vegetarian. They don't drink alcohol. They only drink water, and they stay active. Dr. Clyde Wareham, he's got some YouTubes out. You can see him mowing his lawn at the age of 95. He didn't give up practicing surgery until he was 97. Okay, would that be kind of scary? You go into surgery and you see this 97-year-old guy, you're like, whoa. And he only retired not because he was, you know, cutting off the wrong body part or anything. He retired because his family said, you know, Grandpa, great-grandpa, I really think it's time you spent some time with us. And so that's what he did. So we have a lot of classes here at GetSetUp about the blue zones. We also have a lot of articles. Please go to the website. Please take a look at, oh, I can see everybody's mouth is watering. All right, let's get this going. So I'm just going to dish it in here. I'm going to put this, look at our pineapple. How traditional is this, the pineapple boat? This is so fun to serve. Isn't this great to serve and take to a potluck or for your family? I know my grandson loves when I make this. He gets such a kick like, oh, we're eating out of a pineapple instead of a Star Wars bowl. Okay, something different. Nice, okay. I haven't used it all. You can use it all, fill it up as much as you want. I'm just gonna add some toppings to it. And what I like to add is some freshly chopped pineapple. Good, all right. And then if you want, if you don't have enough onion, let's add a little green onion to that. Tell me your mouth isn't watering. Are you ready for this? All right, enjoy the recipe. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the chat below. I look forward to the next time we get together in the kitchen.